Welcome to my channel, everybody. Today we are talking about my brand new PC build under $250. It's a full AliExpress build and I was honestly worried if it's all gonna work out, but it did. By the way, all the parts that I'll be showing you how to put it together, how to unbox it, put it together, and I'll test today are linked in the description below, so don't forget to click. You also have a discount code for all the parts that I used. But most importantly, I was shocked how everything worked out and I managed to build this open case full-fledged PC that can not only game most of the modern games, I'll talk about it later, and it can also perform tasks like video editing, photo editing. But first, let's do big fat unboxing. So I could unbox like a motherboard. It's a gaming motherboard, ZSUS, and I was actually thinking, how will that motherboard actually look like? But it's a fully legit motherboard where you can put RAM. Like for example, in this case I have chosen the selection with already 16 gigs of RAM installed. Monarch Dragon Gaming graphics card, SOYO. Warrior AK600. It was very easy. After unboxing, we were managed with my boys to do it together with my sons, and as you can see, we are trying to screw everything. So now, after unboxing, you can see that we're putting everything together. So I will apply thermal paste that is delivered. So I'm not using anything specific, anything of my own, just this hard drive that I already have, but you can buy this hard drive also on AliExpress, and my MSI hard drive that I already have. So a little bit of cheating here. Now let me apply the thermal paste here. Have the thermal paste applied. Another way, but hey, it works. Now, my mistake, so let me show you. So this is CPU, very well in here. We have CPU installed and the fan plugged in here. Have the GPU. The GPU only does have three ports, DVI, HDMI, and DisplayPort. So this is pretty cool. Less than some of the old ones that you could buy. The PSU I have selected, it is a little higher than the frame, which is okay because it's a powerful 600 watts PSU that is good to power pretty powerful cards. As I said before, I'm gonna hide it underneath the desk. No cable management so far, so don't worry about that, but we're gonna just plug it in to see if it actually works. Okay, this goes to PCIe, so this is GPU one. We have our complete build. There is hard drive, external hard drive, there's one SSD installed here. We have our GPU sitting, it's plugged into electricity. Now it's all about cable management. After putting it all together, I was worried if it's going to work. And this big moment, touching this funny little button, the magic click, and it works. Now you have to see it for yourself. It does work. It started. It even surprised me. I forgot that this Aigo Warrior AK600 PSU is equipped with RGB, light and the fan makes all the funny colors, and there was some kind of unexpected extra here. But other than that, everything is no RGB, but works extremely fine. However, I came across one problem. I couldn't get into BIOS, so I had to disconnect the hard drives so that the motherboard would start this self-examination mode, if you can call this way, and then I was able to automatically access BIOS, do some settings there, but not many were necessary. However, the main problem I came across with was installing Windows 11. As you know, Windows 11 does have this high security requirements, so it popped up with this line here that you can see, and it was man. But fortunately enough, on internet I found one solution on GitHub where you can find a tool that creates Windows 11 installation tool that is modified media creation tool original from Microsoft, but modified, that doesn't require all these security thingies to be met by your equipment. So without any settings in the BIOS, I could just easily install Windows 11 without any trouble. I'll link this in the description below, as well as the products, as I said. The only lacking thing was all the dongles. So I installed Bluetooth dongle, again, you can find very cheap ones on AliExpress. I'll link it down below. And I had to have Wi-Fi dongle to at least, have some internet. Finally, I went with Wonlink. This is again like very good product, link in the description below. It is a extender with LAN cable that you can put directly through to this Ethernet port here on the motherboard, and this is great because it connects with your router. It is very good. It does have 4 antennas, and transfer speeds are very high, and you don't lose on again some kind of Wi-Fi dongle, but you can directly from this extender you can directly connect your PC through Ethernet, and I had finally fast internet. Now let's talk about functionality, what this thing can do. To my surprise, it starts very fast, and you can edit photos with that, so you can take a look at yourself. It does edit photos without any problem, and even export times are not really that bad. And I actually like the experience, enjoy the experience. So photo editing went very smooth. Now video editing, that was something I was worried about, but a tip for you if you're working on the like lower end type of PCs than if you're using DaVinci Resolve like a lot of people do, because it's free. There's also paid version that I actually own because there are some functions that I use, but it is a great choice. It is a great editing software. As you can see, it can work on this PC, but the tip is if you are editing, you can drop down your timeline resolution even to 720p and edit everything in 720p, and then when you export you bring it up back to 4K. If you are planning to edit videos on this kind of PC and you're trying to build it for low cost, then I would definitely try to get some more money on that. And for example, there are great like Yeston cards, low profile 3050s, but also like I found one low profile card that I forgot the name. It's linked in the description below, that is pretty good, and it will actually, though being only 3050, perform better than our RX 580 because of the media coders and coders. But as you can see in B-roll, it does perform pretty decently. Now, most important part that you've been waiting for most probably is gaming. Can this thing game? And the answer is oh yeah. So first let's start with Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered 1080p medium. We get 38 FPS in benchmark. But benchmark is one thing, but playability is the other thing, and this game is absolutely playable on thing. Just for the experiment, I threw my old trusted EVGA RTX 3060 with 12 gigs of RAM, VRAM to this computer, and then we jumped to 56 FPS. But in any case, if you want to squeeze more FPS from this computer, nowadays you have this big blessing of FSR, XeSS. Of course, DLSS doesn't work here, but whenever I have an opportunity, I prefer to use XeSS, and then you can get some extra frames. Next one is Forza Horizon, and 1080p at custom settings I managed to squeeze out 98 frames per second, which is amazing. But that comes at the cost of no anti-aliasing. But if you want a smooth edges, you can go to 1080p medium, and then you can get 65 FPS, and if you turn on TAA at anti-aliasing, then you will get 60 FPS. So medium 1080p 60 FPS with anti-aliasing TAA on. The FSR set to image quality, and you can get 64 instead of 60. Not a big difference, but the quality is still there, but you're getting a little bit above 60 FPS. Next one is Skyrim, high settings 1080p. I didn't go with the ultra settings, but honestly I probably could. Skyrim, something like that, is perfectly playable on this thing. 60 frames per second, no matter what you do, no matter how hectic the action is, it's just beautiful. Now the next one is Scars Above, and Scars Above is one of the great examples of games that are actually amazingly optimized. They look good, and it's very good, well optimized, and it's actually very, very underrated. Anyways, you can give it a shot, and I could even play 4K at medium settings at a decent between 30 and 40 frames per second, so something like a console-like experience. But if you drop it down to 1080p, you can easily reach 60 frames per second medium settings. So this is something like 1080p for modern titles, medium settings, and you're good to go. If you turn on some kind of XeSS FSR, then you're even better. There are games though that you won't be able to play with this equipment because they require RTX, they require ray tracing, and unfortunately something like Doom the Dark Ages, yes, I'm completely not excited about this game. It's like not my type of game, but it couldn't start. And same with Indiana Jones The Great Circle, which is actually a very cool game, but it won't start because both of these games have requirement of your GPU to have RTX, so ray tracing acceleration there, and I don't know why, but actually they force you to do that, and they won't start on this equipment. However, there's one game that I was like honestly surprised that would start, and it did. It was Avowed. It is a good game, good RPG game for those who like story-driven RPGs, and I could get like 30 frames per second, 1080p at low settings with medium anti-aliasing, which is something I like to have. So this will give you a solid console-like, older console-like experience. To sum up, All the products that I've shown you, like all the PSUs, CPUs, and SOYO, graphic card, Nishiwan fan, and also like all the dongles and SSDs you can find on AliExpress. It is a fully legitimate PC that is looking pretty cool, that is working pretty cool, and I'm surprised that under 250 USD you can build something like that. Let me know in the description below what you think about this build, what you would suggest to change here, what you would upgrade here, because this is actually an interesting part here, because there is some upgrade path. You have extra room for, for example, for more RAM, or you can put some faster, more powerful Xeon processor, CPU here, or faster, like GPU. Don't forget to click the links in the description below, and of course, don't forget to subscribe, leave thumbs up, comment below, and I see you guys in the next one.